Hello, everybody. Stephanie here, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about a recent client conversation I had in hopes that it might give you a little bit of insight into what might be going on with yourself as well. So many of you know I am an integrative wellness health coach, and I am training to become a functional medicine practitioner. And I work with my clients one-on-one to figure out those complicated problems and complicated issues going on in their body that they haven't been able to solve using conventional medicine. I also have the membership program called Rise Up, which is a functional wellness membership. So, conversation I had the other day with a client, and this was an onboarding conversation, so I was getting to know her, and I was shocked, but not really. I'm always shocked at these conversations, but then I'm not really shocked because I hear them all the time. So she came to me with symptoms that included fatigue, depression. She was always cold, no matter what. She was struggling with constipation issues. She had dry skin, dry hair, and foggy thinking was really an issue for her. And so I said, okay, well, I think we need to explore this further. And right off the bat, I'm thinking all of these are thyroid symptoms. Every single one of those are very common thyroid symptoms. So I mentioned that to her. I was like, did you have your thyroid looked at? She's like, yeah, it's fine. So I said, do you have the numbers available? And she said, well, the tests, they're a few months old, but my TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, which is the most common test that's run by medical professionals. She said, my TSH came back and it was a 3.2. So it was within range, and they told me everything is fine with my thyroid, but I still feel like crap and I have all of these thyroid symptoms. So ding, 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 red flag. First of all, if anyone comes to me and they have a TSH that is over 2, I am going to recommend that further testing be done. And there's some things I want you to know about testing the thyroid when it comes to your doctor, your PCP, and oftentimes even endocrinologists. They will run a TSH. They'll also run a free T4. The problem with that is that I usually recommend 8 to 9 tests plus additional markers when it comes to getting an view of the thyroid. So it's not just about the TSH, because that's really testing the pituitary gland in the brain to tell us whether or not the signaling is working from the pituitary gland to the thyroid itself. And if that number is within a functional medicine range, that means that the pituitary pituitary gland is doing its job, and that messaging is being received by the thyroid gland, and then the hormone production will begin. So the TSH does not tell us anything about how much of the hormone is available in the body. It doesn't tell us anything about the conversion issues going on in the body. It doesn't tell us anything about the hormone receptor site. So on every single cell in your body, you do have a thyroid receptor site, one for thyroid, and actually vitamin D is the other one, where every single cell in your body is impacted by vitamin D and the health and functioning of your thyroid. So the problem is that when they run these archaic labs, that's just a TSH and a T4, it's not really telling you much about what's going on with your thyroid overall. So we need to be running a total T4, a free T4, a total T3, and a free T3, because the T4 and the T3 are the 2 hormones that your thyroid produces. However, if we don't have the total number and the free number of both of those hormones, we don't know what the conversion looks like in your body. That hormone is largely produced in an unusable form by your body. So your systems and organs, largely your digestive system, has to spend some time converting it before it can hop onto those protein binding globulins and sneak its way into the cell receptor sites. So there's a lot that's going on with the thyroid that is being overlooked, unfortunately. So when clients come to me and they say, well, yeah, I have this TSH. And for example, this client was a 3.2. I'm already thinking that is a slow functioning thyroid. So we need more testing done. And in the functional range, anything above a 2, anything below a 0.5, I'm kind of flagging and thinking we need a lot more information here. And even if we didn't, I have so many times seen someone come and they have a perfect TSH, falls right in the middle of a functional range. And when we do the other testings, we might even find that there's antibodies present. So I want to educate you on some things that you need to know as far as the testing is concerned and what you need to ask from your endocrinologist or PCP. So just to run down the list of a thyroid panel that I recommend my clients ask for. We always ask for the TSH, of course. It still gives us a lot of really good information about the signaling between the pituitary gland and the thyroid gland itself. So TSH, free T4, total T4, free T3, total T3. I want to know the reverse T3, and I also want the TPO and the TGAB antibodies run, because a lot of times if we have some of these symptoms, especially autoimmune symptoms, and we aren't sure why, a lot of times it's because antibody tests are not being run. So we have to make sure we're paying attention to that and getting those tests run so that we can see if there's something like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease going on. There are some additional markers that I do recommend getting done. An iron panel is smart to be run alongside a thyroid panel, because a lot of times if you have an iron deficiency or anemia, those symptoms can often look a lot like thyroid symptoms. So it's important to know if you are anemic. It's important to know if you have a B12 deficiency. And it's also important to know if you have a vitamin D deficiency, because the vitamin D really does drive a lot of the system's hormone production in our body. I mean, the vitamin D has a huge cascade effect in the health of our system. So if you're coming in and you have a, very common vitamin D marker that's like a 30 or a 35 or a 40, you will fall within the normal lab range. However, I want that vitamin D number to be up in the 60s and 70s and 80s for optimal health. And so that's one of the things we look at right away are the thyroid numbers for a full panel, and then those additional markers that I mentioned to make sure that we are building the foundation. So when clients come to me, I'm like, we have to build the foundation first with nutrition. We also have to build the foundation with what I have called biotracking. So I look at your blood work, and this is all involved in what I do with the blood chemistry analysis, which you can get as a one-off 90-minute session, or it comes as part of my packaging for my private clients that work with me 3 months at a time. So we do the blood chemistry analysis, and then the other thing with the biotracking comes a health history form. I want to have a symptom checklist, and we have a good 30-minute dialogue where I'm taking notes, and so I have this large whole body picture of what's going on, where it includes your symptoms, but it also includes the data of your body, because symptoms are great, but if I can't back them up with blood work, then, I need to ask more questions. So I just wanted to hop in here and share some of that information with you, because I think this conversation I had with this particular client is super common. I mean, I have it all the time. And I know that there's more of you out there wondering, why is my hair falling out? Why am I crashing at 3 p.m. in the afternoon? And I can't figure out why. And I'm eating well, but all these things are happening. And, I'm eating well and I'm exercising and I can't lose weight. Or, you just don't feel right. Or you've got these weird symptoms or digestive upset. We need to come in and we need to look at blood work. We need to expand upon what is commonly being tested, because like I said, the TSH is insufficient at this point, and I even believe it's a little bit irresponsible, because you're not doing a client or a patient any service. You're not providing any service to them if you are only testing for one small component of the whole picture. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me so that we can go over what is happening in your body and we can talk about next steps moving forward. And if you want to find out a little bit more about me, you can always go to thewellsideoflife.com, and I will see you there. Hope everyone has a great day, and I will hop in and talk to you guys soon. Bye.